If you had to name the best train in Japan, what comes to your mind? Many are charmed by corporate wonders of collaboration trains, such as that cute Hello Kitty Shinkansen or Pikachu-themed Pokemon with You train. Others have a special place in their heart for trains and lines that help them commute around, like the famous Yamanote line or just whatever you're usually riding when you're in Japan. There's also a whole genre of trains that just look great when combined with the environment, and we could make a whole video ranking these. Or we could get excited about technological miracles that help us reach faraway destinations within hours. Well, the train I want to show you guys today is absolutely nothing like that at all. It's a train that's not the fastest or most convenient. However, it looks like a fish. Like, look, it has eyes and fins and okay, maybe just being a fish isn't as exciting as collaborating with Pokemon or looking great with pretty trees, but trust me, there really is a lot to uncover here. The official name of the fish train is Medetai Densha, and as many other names in Japan, it's a pun. Medetai means something like happy or auspicious on the scale of something worth celebrating, but the name also references the red sea bream, or tai in Japanese. It's a fish that is known for its red scales, a color often used in celebrations in that culture. Moreover, meda here might also be interpreted as mederu, meaning to cherish or to love, which is going to be relevant pretty soon. So, where's the fish train swimming? And I say swimming because that's actually the official description of its movement. Kada Sakanase, meaning Kada fish line, is located in Wakayama, a prefecture just next to Osaka. The best way to check it out is to go to the starting Wakayamashi station, enter the fish train, and leave at its destination, a small coastal town called Kada. Kada is, well, not the most popular town in Japan, but just like many others, it's doing its best to present its wonders to the world. More on that later. Medetai Densha fits the town's peaceful seaside image, both inside and out. Its design is quite unique. Hangars are fish-shaped, the seating is covered in brims, window curtains have a net pattern, and you can see small fries swimming from under the doors and seats. No, that's cute. And going back outside, if you take a closer look, you can notice that one of the scales is not like the others. It's a heart. And the reason for that is the local Awashima Jinja, a shrine when you can pray for women stuff, basically. It famously gathers hinadolls, used for Japanese Girls' Day, and it's supposed to help with safe childbirth, fighting gynecological illnesses, but also matchmaking and finding love. And because of that landmark, love is another big theme of this pink train. Some of the hangars are heart-shaped, and on the wall there's a wooden tie sculpture that has already been blessed in Awashima Shrine and also has a heart scale. Touch it to find some luck in your life, it's a neat function. However, there is a chance that upon visiting Wakayama, the train that takes you to Kada won't be pink, but blue. That's right, guys, the first one was such a big success that it was decided to make a fish train too, the blue one. Not only that, but shortly after the second one's release, both of the trains got their official names, Sachi, meaning happiness, and Kai, meaning sea. If you combine kanji characters for both of their names, they can become Umi no Sachi, luck of the sea, also known as seafood. Kai is quite similar to its predecessor, but it completely drops the love imagery. In return, we get even more fish. Instead of displaying ads, for example, the banners inside the train look like a flock of fish and seaweed. There's more variety among both the hangars and the seat patterns now, as you can see crabs, squids, and more species besides the sea bream itself that swim inside the Kada sea. There's also a fun gimmick where a big fish swallows some smaller ones, or the octopi jump from the jar every time the door opens. On top of that, thanks to the door decoration, you can make some silly pictures pretending you're wearing swimming fins, or make yourself look like you're underwater by standing behind the door's window stickers. It would be a bit hard to make a picture like this though, because it only works when the doors are closed, so you'd have to stay inside while the photographer takes a picture from outside seconds before the train departs. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something? Anyway, there you have it. Two cute trains swimming right next to the ocean, inviting you to discover a small and cozy town close to Osaka. What a fun little project. I hope they'll be able to attract more people to the area, work well as a tourist attraction, and who knows, what kind of silly shenanigans they will get themselves into in the future, or they will get married, I guess. Sure, that works too. So it turns out there's more to the trains than one might initially suspect. The pink one, Sachi, is actually a girl, and the blue Kai is a boy. And you see, according to the official Medetai Densha lore, two of them were just co-workers and didn't pay much attention to each other. But one day, Sachi saw how Kai makes children smile and thus became aware of his existence. They started talking, and it turned out that Kai is really feeling the pressure of being the second Medetai Densha, and he was really worried of not being good enough. As Sachi was giving him advice about how to be a good train, the two of them slowly started to develop feelings towards each other and decided to get married on November 18th, 2018. 1 year after Kai's release and 2 years after Sachi's. And what a party it was! Guests were able to see the official marriage certificate of the trains, as well as pictures from some of their shared moments. The union was blessed by a priest, and children from the local elementary schools performed 2 songs for the pair, one of them being written specifically for the occasion. There was celebratory food, a lottery, demonstrations of chalk art by local artists, and even workshops. Some of these events even happened inside the trains. Kai and Sachi also received a unique gift delivered by a married human couple, special head marks that were displayed in front of them. After a couple of months, they decided to go on a honeymoon, and so two happy trains joined together as one, rode to Namba in Osaka to celebrate. That's, good for them! Surely not the most typical couple I've seen in my life, but I guess we're all used to the fact that unique stuff like this just happens in Japan from time to time. I hope that happy trains will continue to be happy indeed, and keep riding on the same line as a couple. Do you guys think that maybe in the future they'll have some cute train children? Can you imagine what they would look like? I mean, I'm obviously joking, you don't have to imagine that. Because that's already happening, baby! I mean, it just happens when people are married, right? Children might appear, we all know the drill. On March 31st, 2019, a completely new train was born into this world. Their name is Nana, and according to the official description, they are the child between Sachi and Kai, a couple connected with fate. Medetai Densha connects many fates, including theirs and yours! And indeed, fate and luck are two of Nana's most important motives. We can see auspicious items that are supposed to bring you good things in life everywhere in this train. You know, Sachi and Kai are really nice. They have lots of great details that make them look fun and unique. But Nana takes the whole concept to another level and shows us how impressive the local trains can really get. For starters, let's take a look at the floor. Kai and Sachi surely have some nice stuff going around there, but Nana's whole floor is one long amidakuji, a lottery where you choose one of the vertical lines and then switch between them along with the horizontal ones until you get your fate prediction at the end. You might remember it from one of the Super Mario DS minigames. I can't believe it was so popular they made a Japanese tradition based on it. Once again we get something else instead of usual hanging train nuts, and this time it's rows of pretty fish made out of mizuhiki, decorative nuts. They not only look cool, but also have a symbolic meaning. Nuts in general are associated with marriage in many different cultures, but mizuhiki specifically are often used in weddings, as you tie the gift envelopes with them. The ones used in those ceremonies usually symbolize longevity and most often come in celebratory colors, white and red or gold and red. And as you can see, Nana has definitely chosen the latter combination. There are some other places where you can also see mizuhiki notes on this train, like the curtains. And this specific one is actually a part of lovers' photo spot, where you can take a picture of you and your other half. You can feel connected to each other thanks to the red seating with male and female hinamatsuri pattern, curtains with a love note, 2 married fish, and 1 heart hunger above you. That's the most romantic thing I've ever seen in my life. There's also another little animation on the doors. I don't think calling them animations is correct, but I'll do it anyway. The loverfish are getting separated every time the door opens, but their love knot becomes one again after it closes. I think that Nana's biggest strength is having tons of details that just didn't have to be there. Let's look at the hungers, for example. The usual sea life and heart shapes that we've already seen in the previous trains would be good enough already, but Nana takes them one step further. On the back of each one there is an Omikuji fortune slip, so the hanger you choose decides your fate, which is kind of weird but also really cool at the same time. Or this fish Daruma doll here. We've already seen a blessed sculpture in Kai's interior, but this one swings when the train moves, and you're supposed to make a wish when you see it wobbling around. It's such a small little detail that makes the whole thing more interesting. They didn't have to do that, and yet they did. There's so many examples of this on this train. Nana's name is also a bit deeper compared to their parents. The most obvious meaning is the new name combination. First characters from each of train's names create the word sakana, and I think you don't need to know Japanese to figure out what it means. Nana itself, however, means 7, which isn't the deepest symbolism ever, but has some connotations that might not be that obvious to notice at the first glance. The number 7 is obviously being considered as lucky in many cultures, including Japanese, where it appears in a few myths. One of the best known of them is the legend of 7 lucky gods, who traverse the heavens on their mystical ship Takarabune and who own magical treasures with powerful abilities. The ship itself already fits well into Medetai Densha's ocean motifs, but we can also find Nana's own twist of the legend. You see, Nankai Sakana-san consists of 7 different stations, and according to this infographic from inside the train, getting off at each of those can give you different blessings. But it's not only a promise of prosperity, it also references destinations and tourist spots you can see around every station on this line and encourages you to check each one of those places by yourself. Additionally, the stations are being represented by a symbol related to their most famous features, like the traditional wave pattern for Isonora Station and its nearby beautiful beach, or the seahorses, symbolizing being blessed with children by visiting a shrine next to the Nirigahama Station. All of these marks are combined in this pattern that we can see at most of the train sittings. Symbols come together and create hina dolls and, of course, even more fish. Man, I really don't want to scare you guys away by dropping too many Japanese words and trivia for nerds, but there's so much in this train to discover. Nana's such a glow-up compared to their parents, and they're already pretty good themselves. The bar is so high that if another train joins the family in the future, living up to this standard is going to be really hard. But despite this big amount of pressure, there actually is another train in this line. Let's take a look at the family as it is now. We have mom, dad, and their child. I wonder who else could be added to keep things interesting. Oni-chan! Oh yeah, let's go! So it turns out Sachi has an older brother now. You can call him a bad sibling because he wasn't there for her when she got married or when Nana was born, and yeah, that's a good point. But he actually had a good reason to do so. You see, Kashira is not your usual anime older brother. In fact, he is a pirate. And he wasn't present before because he was on a big adventure somewhere far away. He only returned to his family in September 2021, when people in Japan were still fighting with the pandemic, to tell stories of adventures that others were not able to experience by themselves during that time. Kashira is quite different from the rest of his family, both inside and out, and his name reflects that, since it can literally be translated as Captain. He has a mustache and a single menacing eye, since the other one is covered with an eye patch. He's also the first Happy Fish train that doesn't focus on fish and love and ocean itself, which is quite a change. Instead, his main themes are pirates, music and adventure, which gives him a totally different vibe. Remember these cute Mizuhiki fish at Nana's? Yeah, they're completely gone now. Here our banners are bats and tattered pirate flags. The animations on the doors also got way more adventurous, with a fish being blasted out of the cannonball, a shark closing its jaw, or 2 pirates cheering. There's a new photo spot as well, where you can make yourself a picture as a happy wanted. I don't think those 2 words usually come together like that, but I am not going to question it, it's still fun. Kashira also takes the 7 station blessings that we've learned about at Nana's and reintroduces them with a completely new twist. They are the 7 treasures now. And your goal is to walk around the cart and find them all, which is first an extremely fun and creative idea, and second a great way to make you take a closer look at all of the decorations and appreciate them more, while once again building more connection to all of the stations. My favorite thing though are the new settings. Most of them have a maze pattern that takes you a few seconds to solve and find the treasure at the end. That itself is pretty cool. But there are a few different mazes, so if you want to solve them all, you need to check out more than just one seat. That means, if the train's crowded, the 100% speedrun category becomes really hard, because people comfortably sitting, as intended, can kill your run. The mere existence of this challenge is still amazing though. There's also tons of music references everywhere. There are new note hangers next to the usual fish ones, another sitting is turned into a piano, and train curtains now tell us stories about happy singing pirates and a ship riding on waves made out of music stuff. And of course, pirates and music is not an unusual combination, but to be honest, I was kind of surprised by how much attention this theme gets here. There are many other things pirates can do after all, you don't need to put so many notes everywhere. And to my surprise, there's actually a big reason why Kashira is so musical. You see, he is also the first Medetai Densha that's collaborating with someone. That someone being Hyde, a really famous lead vocalist of a rock band called
L'Arc-en-Ciel.
He's basically a rock legend in Japan that created lots of famous original songs, some of them being used in anime as well. For example, he's the guy singing and many other songs, albeit many of them not directly linked to any whip media. So it turns out Hyde is from Wakayama and was very happy to support this project. As he said himself, lots of my friends and relatives live near the Kada line. I have many fond memories of that route, and I remember taking my shoes off, kneeling on the chair and looking at outside scenery with my mother. Crossing the Kino River, it connects to the town where I've lived, the station next to my school, and the ocean where I spent a lot of time in my youth. I hope it becomes a road that will be loved forever. But even if after hearing those kind words you still don't have much interest in this specific artist, I am pretty sure you still would be able to enjoy Kashira. Hyde references are fun, but also subtle. There is his symbol, silhouette and sign hidden somewhere in the train, but if you don't know what they are, you just think it's cool and move on with your train sightseeing. But the whole collab adds to Kashira's atmosphere, and it's one of the things that make him so unique and interesting. I just wish there was more information about the relationship between Kashira and the rest of his family. What does Sachi think about her older brother? And even more importantly, what's the relationship between Kashira and Kai as he's Sachi's husband? I really hope that's something we can learn more about in the future. However, we still didn't go through every page in the fish train lore. There is still something to discover, one final miracle that changes the train world forever. According to the official story, one day, Nana heard a rumor that an ancient egg from the times of dinosaurs fell from the sky in Kada. Together with her parents and uncle, they decided to go and see it. But just as they found and took a look at it, the shell cracked, and a marvelous, mystical being came out of it and started swimming along the Kada line. It is time to talk about the ancient train. Medetai Densha family is quite big already, but there's one final awe-inspiring train that connects all of the others. While technically the newest, since he came to be in July 2024, he actually originates from thousands if not millions of years ago, and according to the official Medetai Densha family tree, is the great ancestor of the other trains. Their name is Kanata, a word that's a bit abstract and tricky to translate, but can be understood as beyond or distance, as they were something otherworldly from very far away. And it is fitting, given that Kanata is a train that literally bends time and space, connecting both past and future at the same time. That's right, this is the first Medetai Densha that has two completely different cars. The ones in other trains were more or less copies of each other, but in this case the riding experience is going to be vastly different depending on which car we are going to sit in. The color scheme also highlights how amazing they are. Just look at this magnificent creature! Every other train was painted in a single color, but Kanata truly deserves their other nickname, Rainbow Medetai Densha. So exactly what kind of wonders can we find inside Kanata? Let's talk about the ancient card first. It's hard to ignore that big boy on the floor. It's called Megapteryges or Wakayama Soryu, and it's a completely new genus discovered in 2023 in Wakayama. Its discovery was apparently a pretty big deal since its skeleton was found in a really good shape. The floor painting represents its real size, so you can see how big it was. The whole card is full of small pieces of information about creatures found in Wakayama. But if you're not a nerd and hate reading, you can just enjoy the other decorations. And because it's Japan, everything is quite cute. Like this animation of a mosasaur chasing the ammonites on the door. You can find these little guys on the banners too, as they are representing the ancient creatures hiding in equally ancient flora. And speaking of hanging stuff, there's even more variety among the hangers now too. Kanata also references their descendants with window patterns. Here we can see a Daruma doll and a jellyfish swimming with the ammonites, which is a throwback to Kai and Nana. Another window tells us what Kashira saw during one of his adventures. When the curtain's down, we can see that the ship is being attacked by a shark. But it's not just some normal shark, it's an ancient shark called Megalodon, so it successfully fits the theme. And apparently in reference to Sachi there's a heart somewhere on the surface of the water on the other curtains, but to be honest I can't really see it. Let me know if you guys actually spot it. All of this is just half of the fun though, because as mentioned before, the second card is something completely different. Its themes are hope and expectations for the future yet to come. Pretty Flowers fans are going to be pleased with some of the new patterns. For example, this yellow thing of the sitting is hamabo. It's a type of yellow hibiscus that often appears near water bodies, so it's possible to see it nearby Kada's sea. However, it's already extinct in Osaka Prefecture and has near-threatened status in Wakayama Prefecture. River improvement and coastal developments are to blame. The train dreams that those flowers can be restored to their former glory. On the windows we can see a plant that fellow weeps can easily recognize, hydrangeas or adisai. Besides, well, being pretty, there's another big reason for them being there, and that's being a part of Umi Toyama to Kada Projecto, a project to connect forest and the sea. Long story short, it's a local tree planting project that aims to create the biggest hydrangea garden in Japan. This project was created to remediate the effects of a large-scale excavation that happened during the development of Kansai Airport. So it's another important piece of local history. It's not just a tourist attraction though, as its other key purpose is, as you can see at this professional chart, to help ensure a healthy and sustainable ecosystem between the land and the ocean. And getting back to Kanata, if you put the train curtains down, a rainbow will appear among the flowers. Hydrangeas bloom during the rainy season in Japan, so these two are often associated with each other. The future card is not just flowers though. There are some animals too. This time the doors are decorated with sea slugs. They're here because they are cute and marketable, and that would be good enough already in many other parts of Japan. But it's Medetai Densha we are talking about, so everything needs to have a special meaning. So the slugs are here because they are so-called indicator species. If they appear in your local water body, it suggests the water is likely to be clean. On the other part of the train there's a new Medetai Densha logo, a fossiled fish, kind of cool, but we can also see that a seagull, or umineko in Japanese, is sitting on its top. Those birds didn't really disappear from Japan in general, but for some reason they've started appearing less and less in Wakayama recently. This one here symbolizes hope for their return in the future. Besides flora and fauna, Kanata has some futuristic art as well. Banners have once again turned into something for sure, and this fish is made out of recycled materials. Neat! As we can see, this train is another amazing addition to the family. Once again, it feels completely different from the rest and presents another bunch of original ideas and interesting imagery. But I hear you thinking, yeah, that's cool at all, but I've seen it all now, right? There's no reason for me to go there. Bronchi, book your plane ticket right now. First, we didn't really go through every single feature of each train. I didn't want this video to be too long, but I also didn't want to showcase every single idea inside the cars, so there's still a lot for you to explore. And second, Kada is a tourist destination, just not as popular as the others around it. One of its most well-known features is Tomogashima, a group of 4 islands that you can reach from the Kada port. The islands are uninhabited, but that's their main appeal. Besides getting some nice sea views, you can see some abandoned forts that continue to decay and just look really cool. Some people enjoy it because they say it looks similar to the titular abandoned city in Laputa, but also both Kada and Tomogashima were a big inspiration for the setting of the manga's summertime render, and you can find its characters in the town in some places. Just remember that the ferry that takes you to the islands is not running on Wednesdays, and don't plan your Kada trip specifically on that day just to go to the port, read the notice and realize what you've done, which is definitely something that didn't happen to me before. If you'd like to take a break and catch some sun, then you can go to the beach in Kada or Isanoura, both of them being clean and warm. Or you could spend the night in a local ryokan with a great sea view if you're feeling fancy. Awashima Shrine was mentioned here a few times already, but besides being a great inspiration for train motifs, it's also famous for its doll display. Many dolls there are related to Girls' Day, the festival that Nana references. If you're in Japan in early March, try to check out their Hinanagashi celebrations, it's quite unique. Another event you might want to catch is the Hydrangea Planting Festival that was one of Kanata's inspirations. Or you could go there in June and see the flowers in a full bloom. But no matter when and where you decide to go, riding Medetai Densha is an adventure in itself. I know YouTubers often ask these kind of questions at the end of the video because they want to get more engagement in the comments, but I'm genuinely curious, which train is your favorite and why? Personally, I find it hard to choose, so I wonder what other people like the most about them. And if you want to ride Medetai you like the most, the link to their official timetable is in the description. You can plan getting on a specific train to Kada from Wakayamashi station and try riding another one on your way back to see at least 2 of them during one round trip. So that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching, even though it was such an unusual topic. I know saying it is kind of cliché, but I've actually never put anything on YouTube before, so I really appreciate you for sticking until the end. I love reading and talking about unique aspects of Japanese culture and pop culture, so if that's something you're into as well, I hope you can stay for longer and check out the upcoming videos. And in gratitude for those staying here for so long, I've prepared something extra. What you're watching on the screen right now is the official Medetai Densha PR video with some anime elements. I've translated it and put the link to it in the description. It's pretty cute. And also, I wasn't able to go to Kada and take the footage myself, so I relied on many different videos that other people have made. They are all credited in the video and you can find a list of them in the description, so make sure to check them out to see some train footage we didn't discuss here. So thanks again and see you next time!